fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey Star Trek Fleet Commanders, Season 2 of Territory Capture starts tomorrow, or at least the time this video starts tomorrow. You could be watching this afterwards and curious what changes are actually being done to territories, which you can see that I'm currently mining some oxygen now because even at my level, which is 10 levels higher than about the average level in the game, still need to mine oxygen. You got it. There's a lot of good stuff in the territory research tree. So big question is how all this will be altering starting Tuesday, January 23rd. Now, thankfully, the good overlords over at Scopely did provide an article that we'll go over covering some of this. And we'll also add that I appreciate some of the things that we asked for being listened to. What I mean by that is you're going to find a couple of things that are direct player feedback. That's good. I mean, so anytime bad things happen, we like to call them out for bad. Like, for example, Wave Defense having the double spawn issue. That's bad. But we do like a couple things that we're going to discuss here. If you'd like more information, as always, just reach out to me in my Discord or on Facebook. It's facebook.com/RD Pirate Gaming. Links to all that is in the description below. I do want to really emphasize that everyone's allowed to message me. Please don't be like, oh, he don't have time. I'll make time. Y'all are amazing. So let's go ahead and talk about what all is going to be included in Season 2 with this change. Now, some of these changes are cool. Some of these, in my opinion, aren't enough. The biggest one for the average player out there and the average alliance out there is that Territory 2 services are going to be rotating, and the big one, the Monaveen construction yard, will be added as a Tier 2 service instead of Tier 3. So moving it out of Tier 3, moving it in to Tier 2, and all of these territories are now going to have that service. So before, you had 3 territories that had the Monaveen construction yard, allowing you and your alliance to get Monaveen blueprints. And while you might think the Monaveen maybe isn't necessarily that big of a deal for you right now at your level, I will say this, in the 40s, it can have great uses in terms of its own grind, getting uncommons. And in the 50s, it's a must-have for resources, that par steel wall. But even beyond that, I use it for my Actian grind. It outperforms my Talios in the 40s. So lots of good uses there. And now you have a plethora of options to try to go and activate, or at least try to capture. So like you look at Zion and Hubashan and Vantar and all these different ones, and you look over into the map, obviously more is better. So you're starting to look at 2-star territories and who has what and where can we go. It certainly adds a better dynamic, I would say, versus just being locked into 3 stars, which is going to limit it to basically alliances that a lot of times don't need it. So anyway, I feel like this is a good change. So I will personally give a hand clap and a thank you for listening, because I do appreciate that. And I know a lot of the players that follow my content, especially the newer players, definitely appreciate that. So not only do you have 2-star territories getting this added to it, you also have changes to the 3-star territories. So the ones in bold are the ones being swapped out. At least that's what I have gathered from our conversation with our friend, Eco, the community manager, Star Trek Fleet Command. So these are things to take note of, and you'll see changes getting added into 3-star territories. Now, how much of this affects everybody really kind of depends on y'all. The whole idea of rotating services in the 3-star is to kind of force more movement. So what I will say, because a lot of people ask, is like, how much movement actually happened? So I did a little bit of like informal polling, you could say. And I would say this, that most servers, now you feel free to comment down below whether your server saw any change at all. Please let everybody know down below. But as I went around the room, surveyed the players, most servers saw significant territory changes. Now that didn't mean that the number 1 alliance didn't go pick and choose what they wanted. The number 1 alliance didn't stay where they were before on most servers. That's not a universal truth. You could have been on, I'm just going to pick a random server, I don't know, server 26, and maybe those stayed exactly how they were before. But let's pull a random number out of the air. I honestly don't remember. But I will tell you that most had some level of change, which was the goal. And now the goal is to take that a step further by having territories like Brelin right here, moving their services around, and thus necessitating, if you did like certain services, like certain repair abilities, etc., you're now going to have to go after them in a different area of the map, which also changes which 1-stars you have and which 2-stars you have and what particles you go after. which I think is something that should have been part of this game to begin with. I think that they should have been rotating that from the very beginning. That's just my opinion. Back over to the main screen. And then we have this change coming. Iogen mining nodes are all getting a 2.5 multiplier increase. Now, I personally love this. As you saw, I was actually mining Iogen. And I don't just love this because I'm a dirty pirate. I want to be OPC punting everyone. Hunting y'all straight off the map and taking all your goodies. Yeah, that was a pun. I did it. And it's football season technically still, so I can do that. But anyway, yeah, big Iogen nodes where you have a lot of Meridians who have so much protected cargo, they're safe. But now the nodes are going to be much larger, meaning you're going to have to watch them more, or pirates like Rev Deuce are going to come by and take that delicious booty. Be very careful what I'm saying here on YouTube. But take the loot from them, and that's going to be fun. New OPC merch dropping soon. So updated pass rewards. Now, what this really translates to, I don't necessarily know if y'all going to be as excited. Now, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but Chronometric Particles, Enterprise E officer sourcing, which is good. But again, remember that when this first pass came out, the free track was okay. I like free tracks. I have no issue with more battle passes. Not everybody will agree with that. I honestly don't mind more battle passes because that's more free rewards in the top track for me. I'm not going to buy every battle pass that's available because I can't buy every battle pass that's available, but that's okay. That said, some of these, I don't really know how important they are, like the Borg Cube upgrade and research materials. I don't feel like this is the bottleneck. Getting the damn cube is the bottleneck. Where's the official sourcing for that? And even then, it's kind of a letdown unless you're a player in the 60s. And as we talked about in yesterday's live stream, there are only 1,300 players in the 60s anyway. So I'm mad on the cube edition, but I do like Enterprise E officer sourcing, as that's become a primary loot crew for so many players who managed to pick them up a month ago. Moving on, chronometric particles, also good for research. So these are just kind of like, I feel like we're going to have varying opinions on things like this. The Iogen mine node. Me, obviously I'm a pirate. Like, you know, I like hunting OPC. It's fun. It gives me engagement and not even negative engagement. Y'all seen on the streams, very rarely do we get angry love letters. And in fact, it becomes friendly banter. A lot of the best friends I've made in the game have come through base raiding and PvP, and hell, I've gotten base raided. It just is part of the game, right? So I like that idea. And it will probably encourage people to put more energy into mining in territory and, you know, rebuild that emphasis. And it doesn't seem like territory is going anywhere. So season 2 providing some changes. And then that's kind of it though. Like I was honestly expecting a little bit more. There are no territories being added. Like there's no additional ones being added to the map. And I think that there's plenty of room to add another 10, you know, on the sides here. There are, you know, no real other changes in terms of the event structures, at least that we're aware of. It's still the same style that it was last season. But I will say this, you have seen movement, but as it typically happens with this game, the movement is slow and it's gradual and it's, hey, I'm getting hit OPC. Who is doing this? Hey, oh, it's just Duo. Well, he's doing it because we're at war. I thought I was getting OPC hit. I was gonna be very proud. He's just doing war hits. So wait, did you only hit the OPC one? Well, now, Duo, you're going to be in trouble because you didn't take both my ships. You only took the OPC one. Duo, I'm going to tell Epic on you. You're supposed to hit everybody with the red reticle and all their ships, not just the OPC ones. Bad, Duo. Bad. Good to see you, though. And enjoy the OPC. I love this. It makes me so happy to see people OPC hunting. It makes me very, very happy. So, all that aside, you do see some good change, I think, for the overall community of the game. And I think that's what was needed. At the same time, I still think there's so much more they can do with adding actual more territories to the game because there's so many servers like server 20 that you can't fit every alliance on there. And I know that not every server is like our main server, but the truth is you talk about territory. Well, generally in territory, you're going to have what? 10 to 15 alliances with stuff. Yet on server 20, I come down here and there's a level of rank 22 alliance. Still has 75 people in it. Like we have lower levels on this server. We have 71 in the Fed Loyalist run. And I know that not everybody has that. You don't have that level of depth, but I still think that that would provide more parity for some servers. And maybe this really pushes that point that the game needs to focus on individual servers and where they're at. You know, I get some need mergers, things like that, but there are other things I think this game could do. And as we talked about in our Friday episode, we're definitely pushing a lot of ideas to Scopely and appreciate them being at least willing to listen. And today we do see examples of them listening because, like I said, Monaveen added a 2-star territory. That's been a big request. Servers or service rotation. That's been a big request, though it's only the 3-star services getting rotated. But I am curious what you would like to see in territory, what changes that you think would make it more valuable. Let me know in the comment section down below. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with our Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video. Don't forget, on your way out, to like the video as well. Believe it or not, commenting, liking, and watching are all separate metrics and help out every YouTuber, not just me. So thank you for those that do it. Catch you on the next one, and we're out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.